You know, one of the few interesting controversies I've always found in the Monster Hunter community has to be Nergigante, and even then, it absolutely confuses me because I really see that some of these new Monster Hunter fans don't know about him, while also having some of the older Monster Hunter fans spreading out this misinformation about Nergigante, considering the fact they just don't like him or they just don't know. So today, I'm here to clear up just about every controversy about Nergigante that there is to date. And again, hope you guys enjoy this video. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. And now, let us begin. Now, one of the first few categories that Nergigante has always been a part of is that he's a scavenger. Like, I'm trying to figure out if people actually understand what scavenging means. They only eat dead animals. Like dead or dying animals, right? He doesn't do that. And I've even seen people compare him to hyenas, which if you guys actually look up the information, hyenas actually do hunt down prey. They don't scavenge. They pick up, they're opportunistic like every other predator. But again, they don't primarily scavenge. Scavenging is just an option. So I'm not sure how that even came occurrence here. That's actually been a rumor that's been debunked multiple times. So let's actually talk about this here. Nergigante is just like any other predator, except he's in a higher tier. He is an elder dragon that eats other elder dragons. Now, let's also get this out the way. Nergigante is not in the same tier as black dragons. Black dragons are also not elder dragons. I don't know why people keep thinking Elytron, Sapphire, Fatalis, and, Dire Morales and every other black dragon, right, is an elder dragon, where they're not even categorized as that. They were originally supposed to be elder dragons, but Capcom simply said, nah, it doesn't fit them. Not for these ones. So they gave them the name Black Dragons because they are far beyond the normal means in the normal power level that is within the Elder Dragon levels or the Elder Dragons in general. They are beings of unfathomable and unimaginable power. And this list right here is all Black Dragons. We do not see these guys in an Elder Dragon list. They do not qualify as Elder Dragons. They are on a much higher power level, and they are on a much more, what's the word I'm looking for, unnatural scale, beyond the means of life. Elder Dragons would include things like Dalmador, Amatsu, Malzeno, Geismagorm, and even Eruzarian. All right, those count as Elder Dragons, and then there are Elder Dragon level monsters, which I think, again, people do not understand. Elder Dragon level monsters are monsters that have pretty much achieved the power level to combat Elder Dragons. It is not about their hacks and abilities. It is about the literal power level these basic monsters can have and achieve. Things like Stygian Zinogre, Flaming Espinas, Gold Rathian, Silver Rathalos, Regular Espinas, Devil Joe, okay, are all in the Elder Dragon level category. And side note, for those who actually were on the Arc Veiled and Nergigante Horrific Truth video, why did y'all say that Arc Veiled was in Joe tier, but he's not Elder Dragon level? When literally Devil Joe is an Elder Dragon level monster. Now, are there levels to this? Yes, there are some Elder Dragon level monsters that are stronger than others, that are more powerful than the others, that have better feats than the others. But again, we need to emphasize that. It is absolutely ridiculous that most of the Monster Hunter community does not know these terms, doesn't know these, I guess you could say, power levels or the structures that pretty much ride within Monster Hunter. They simply see a monster they like, and then they just overhype it to no end. It's absolutely ridiculous here. We literally have guidebooks stating obvious facts about these monsters, but yet people don't read them and then try to argue against it when it's right in front of them. And now the whole thing with Nergigante being a scavenger actually does come from, I think it was either the Raging Gaming channel, where they simply said that he feeds on dead and dying elder dragons because of the turf war with Shara Ishvalda, where not only was he buried in a mountain, he came out, saw the person he was hunting, and literally went on to attack and kill them. And then the fact that he was hunting down Zora Magnaros, albeit that was for different reasons, as he was trying to guide him to the Elder's Recess so that he can unearth Xeno'jiiva and kill Xeno'jiiva. which he probably would have been able to do, considering the fact that Nergigante also would have gotten some of the residual energy from Zora Magdaros as well. Now, we also have confirmation right in front of you here that Nergigante would have killed Sherry Ishvalda if both were at full power, so it wouldn't matter. We also have confirmation, which is right in front of you right now, that Nergigante does not discriminate about what he eats. Everything that is living is prey. It does not matter. And speaking of which here, consider the sheer fact that the Rotten Vale is visited by every carnivore in Monster Hunter, doesn't that make them all scavengers? Or does that make them opportunistic predators? Yeah, that makes them opportunistic predators, right? Absolutely crazy. Then people like to use the whole, well, he got ran off or, defended off against Lunastra and Teostra, which, if we're being kind of honest, that's a pretty poor excuse considering a lot of prey items or prey animals can fend off their predators. And keep in mind, this is still 2 Elder Dragons. It's not, something that's to be taken lightly. That's 2 Elder Dragons. Like, are we just forgetting the fact that they are Elder Dragons at the end of the day? Now, again, Nergigante is superior to every other Elder Dragon, and even some big ones, to be kind of honest, considering the sheer fact that we know Elder Dragons really don't differentiate or really care about the size of their quarry either. Some Elder Dragons just simply have a higher power level and are able to kill other Elder Dragons. For example, and you guys are going to see it here in a little bit, that being Xeno'jiiva. Xeno'jiiva was able to kill multiple Dalmadors that were mostly bigger than the old world Dalmadors, which again, Nergigante is from, by the way, and was able to use them as food, and this created the Rotten Vale. Xeno'jiiva literally killed multiple Dalmadors that were bigger than the other ones in the old world. Again, I don't think we have to emphasize that. Now, let's also talk about something else, and that being, again, Nergigante versus Primordial Malzeno. Yeah, he's above him. They're in the same class, but there is literally levels to this. Now, if you guys want my answer, or want the tier for these monsters, they are both Apex Elder Dragons. This means that they are Elder Dragons above other Elder Dragons to a significant degree. We literally see this because they overpower every other Elder Dragon they come across. We also know that Primordial Malzeno ranks above even Amatsu, which again was supposed to be the final boss of Sunbreak, but it was like, nah, we got to give y'all one more. So again, Primordial Malzeno would be above the likes of Amatsu. And the fact that Nergigante is dealing with Elder Dragons in a far easier manner than even Primordial Malzeno, again, cements that he is significantly above him. Because again, a manhandle against an Elder Dragon is different than actually being able to combat an Elder Dragon and then still being able to put up a fight. Nergigante overpowers them not only through sheer strength, but through high levels of regeneration and resistance. And in all honesty, I think one comment did say it on my Nergigante versus Arkveld video. Yeah, he should be able to resist the Frenzy Virus, considering the sheer fact that Gorm Magala does actively avoid, being hunted by other monsters. It actually tries to reverse it any chance it can, but if the monster is like something that physically demands it, it won't do it. Which is why we see it target much weaker monsters than itself. It can't risk getting injured, otherwise this will interfere with its molt into Shugaru Magala. Then there's also Valstrex. I see a lot of people saying that Nergigante would get die-bombed by Valstrex, forgetting the sheer fact that most of these monsters actually utilize light-based attacks to defend themselves. And again, Kushal Daora is one of those monsters, and yet Nergigante is able to not only react to him, but catch him. So all Valstrex just needs to do is get close, and that's it. And you can't use Crimson Glow of Valstrex because that one has breathing problems. The dragon energy literally bursts through its chest and is actually like harming it anytime it tries to fly into those high altitudes. It's literally having, like, I guess you could say almost like an asthma attack when it flies. It's actually one of the most tragic monsters in Monster Hunter. Actually, I think I might make that a list as well. Most tragic monsters in Monster Hunter. Probably might be top 5 or maybe top 3. I don't know. I might do a top 5 on that one because, again, it is pretty interesting how some of these monsters really just have terrible, backstories, and that the hunters are sometimes a contribution of that. Now, again, if you guys want other Apex Elder Dragons, obviously it would be Nergigante, Malzeno, Sha Domador, which is the fully grown specimen of a Domador, meaning even the bigger ones in world would be smaller than, obviously, a full-grown Domador, right? Then we also have Gogmazios and Lao Shang Lung. These guys would all count as Apex Elder Dragons. They're significantly more powerful. They're much stronger. Oh, and what's his name? Laviente or Raviente would also count as an Apex Elder Dragon. These are just Elder Dragons that are just significantly above other Elder Dragons by a great and significant margin. And here it is. Here, I hope the translation does, kind of go through. But yes, Dalmador here makes up the majority of the Rotten Vale, and it's actually larger Dalmadors than the one in, well, the old generation games or in the old world games. And again, this was caused by Xeno'jiiva, a much smaller Elder Dragon, and one that legit tried to hide itself from Nergigante when he drove every Elder Dragon out of the Elder's Recess. Matter of fact, let's also talk about that real quick. The Elder's Recess is not where Elder Dragons go to die. Their energy is there because they have high levels of energy, and that's why the crystals are formed. It's literally a feeding ground for Xeno'jiiva because, again, the Elder Dragons produce a huge amount of energy. And Nergigante, sensing that, drove out every other Elder Dragon from there. It's literally shown and stated in the game that he drove out every Elder Dragon. By the way, this means we could have had Valhazak being in the Elder's Recess as well. But overall, I hope this clears up a lot of the controversy around Nergigante. And I almost forgot about these two. Genmaron and Darmaron, as well as Cadeus and Narcarcos, could also count as Apex Elder Dragons, considering they are just a bit more powerful than the rest. We don't know how Narcarcos would really fare against other Elder Dragons outside of Cadeus, and then Cadeus kind of just eats Narcarcos. So, yeah, absolutely insane. But overall, yes, this is pretty much every controversy that's around Nergigante. So if you see someone spreading misinformation about this, please let them see this video, and so that we can clear up just about every single amount of information that we get. If you have any arguments in the comment section, feel free, and I will be slapping y'all in the face with all this information. But that's me all today. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Peace.